Very emotional news. Loudly crying face the painful secret of BTS Jungkook. Loudly crying face the heartbreaking truth behind his smile. In the heart of a bustling city, surrounded by the deafening cheers of millions, stands a young man who once believed he was too shy to ever be seen. His name is Jeon Jung-kook. To the world, he is the golden Maknae of BTS, a global icon who effortlessly conquers charts and breaks records. But before the neon lights of Las Vegas and the historic stage of the World Cup, there was a 15-year-old boy in a lonely dormitory who used to wait for everyone to fall asleep just so he could shower in secret, afraid of the eyes of his own brothers. This is not just a story of a child prodigy. This is a journey through the terrifying isolation of a lost childhood, the crushing weight of being perfect, and the emotional battle of a man who grew up in front of a camera while his soul was still searching for a home. This is the raw, human truth of Jeon Jung-kook, the boy who became the world's strength while struggling to find his own. The journey of Jeon Jung-kook began in Busan, a city of dreams where a young boy spent his days drawing and dreaming of sports. Various media sources suggest that Jeon Jung-kook's decision to join the music industry was born out of a quiet, burning desire to find his own path. At the age of only 13, Jeon Jung-kook auditioned for Superstar K, only to face his first major failure. He was rejected. He was told he lacked the spark. Imagine a child, barely entering his teens, being told by the world that he was not enough. According to fans and early media reports, this rejection left a deep scar of self-doubt. When 7 different agencies eventually reached out to him, Jeon Jung-kook didn't choose the biggest or the richest. He chose a small, struggling company because he saw something in a rapper named RM. But that choice meant leaving his parents, his school, and his childhood behind. He traded his toys for dance shoes and his freedom for a training schedule that never seemed to end. The trainee years were a season of silent terror. Jeon Jung-kook was so painfully shy that various media sources describe how he would barely speak a word to the other members for months. He was a child living in a room full of strangers, many of whom were much older and more experienced. The physical exhaustion of training for 15 hours a day was nothing compared to the mental strain of being a child in an adult's world. He was a boy who had to learn how to be a superstar before he learned how to be himself. According to verified interviews in documentaries like Burn the Stage, Jeon Jung-kook lived in constant fear that he was the weak link of the group. He felt that because he was the youngest, any mistake he made would be a burden on his 6 older brothers. He lived under a microscope, his every movement judged, and his every flaw magnified. The pressure to be the golden Maknae, the one who can do everything, became a cage that he struggled to escape. There was a moment of profound emotional collapse that remains one of the most heartbreaking chapters of his life. According to verified interviews and media reports, there was a time during the group's early years when Jeon Jung-kook almost gave up. He felt that his presence was unnecessary and that he was losing his sense of self. In a moment of raw vulnerability, Jeon Jung-kook once admitted that he felt like he was wearing a mask to please everyone. Various media sources suggest that during their first major world tour, the physical and mental burnout reached a point where Jeon Jung-kook broke down in tears, admitting that he felt lonely even when he was surrounded by thousands of people. He felt that he was a person with no true personality, just a collection of traits he had learned from his 6 older brothers. The loneliness of being a global star at an age when most are still in high school is a silent agony that Jeon Jung-kook carried for years. He felt like he was a product rather than a person. But Jeon Jung-kook did not break. He stayed because he realized that his life was no longer just his own. It belonged to the brothers who had raised him and the fans who found hope in his voice. He took his fear and turned it into the song Begin, a verified tribute to the 6 men who made him who he is. He stayed because he realized that his vulnerability was not a weakness, but a bridge to the world. He chose to embrace the pressure, using it to forge a level of discipline and talent that is rarely seen in music history. He became a man who would perform with a bleeding foot or a high fever, refusing to let down a single person in the audience. He stayed because he found his purpose in the joy of others, even when he was still searching for his own peace. Even with the world at his feet, the struggle with self-worth continues. Verified reports and his own admissions during live streams point to a man who still grapples with the feeling of not being good enough. He has spoken about the void that follows a massive performance, the sudden transition from the screams of a stadium to the silence of a hotel room. Disclaimer: various media sources and fan observations suggest that Jeon Jung-kook deals with periods of intense isolation, where he retreats from the world to process the weight of his fame. The burnout of his record-breaking solo debut with Seven and Golden was a season of immense pressure, as the entire world watched to see if he could survive without his brothers by his side. He has admitted to being a harsh judge of himself, often ignoring his own pain to ensure the perfect performance. Why is Jeon Jung-kook loved with such a fierce and protective devotion? It is because he is the human heart of the industry. People love Jeon Jung-kook because he has never lost his sense of wonder or his humility. He is the star who will bow 90 degrees to every staff member, the one who cleans up the stage after a show, and the artist who spends hours talking to fans as if they were his childhood friends. He is loved because he is authentic. He shows his tattoos, his mistakes, and his tears without shame. Fans see the boy who grew up without a childhood but gave one to millions of others through his music. He is the golden Maknae, not because he is perfect, but because he never stops trying to be better for the people he loves. The professional achievements of Jeon Jung-kook are verified pillars of music history. He is the first K-pop soloist to have a song spend multiple weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 with Seven. Verified data shows that his debut album Golden broke every record for a solo artist in K-pop history. According to various media sources and financial estimates, Jeon Jung-kook's net worth is approximately $30 to $40 million. He has performed at the FIFA World Cup opening ceremony, received the Wagwon Order of Cultural Merit, and has been a brand ambassador for global names like Calvin Klein. But for Jeon Jung-kook, the true achievement is the fact that his brothers still call him their baby, and that he can still find joy in a simple song. Looking toward the future, Jeon Jung-kook dreams of a life where he can finally be just Jungkook. His future plans involve exploring deeper musical genres and eventually finding a peace that is independent of his fame. He wants to be an artist who can perform for decades, aging with his fans and sharing the truth of his life. Jeon Jung-kook dreams of a world where people are not judged by their success, but by the kindness of their hearts. He plans to return from his military service with a soul that is even more resilient, ready to lead the next era of music with a matured heart. His dream is to be a person who makes his family proud, not just as a star, but as a man. The story of Jeon Jung-kook is a testament to the fact that you can conquer the world and still be a student of life. He is the boy who left Busan with a suitcase of fear and returned as a king. He is the trainee who showered in the dark, who now stands in the brightest light of the world. Jeon Jung-kook took the isolation, the burnout, and the self-doubt, and he turned them into a golden light that shines for the broken-hearted. As the narration fades, let the silence be a tribute to his journey. Think of the 15-year-old boy crying for his mother in a cold dorm room. Think of the man who now carries the dreams of an entire generation. Jeon Jung-kook is a reminder that even the most perfect person is fighting a battle we cannot see. We honor Jeon Jung-kook for his talent, we admire him for his success, but we love him for his soul. Thank you, Jeon Jung-kook, for growing up for us. Your journey is a masterpiece of resilience, and as long as you continue to sing, the world will be a little more golden. May we always hold the man behind the superstar with the deepest respect and love he deserves.